Hello, my name is Sergeant Gardner. During my time as the NCOIC of the Collection Management Shop at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, I noticed that there was a lot wrong with one of our main products that we sent to flying units. This product showed what assets would be flying where, be collecting on what, and how to report those things that they collected on back to the proper units. It was hard to read, and often there were a lot of errors due to formatting. Using leadership and management skills, I diagnosed our product with having less than optimal functionality and was very self-aware of how I wasn't savvy with the software we were using or how to make things functional to the human eye as our products needed to be. After getting permission from my seniors to work on the product, I called in my team of 12 airmen and we set off to work coming up with ideas. I knew I had good rapport with them, so I used a form of referent power, which is another form of leadership and management. I knew they wouldn't have any problems telling me what they really thought about the product as a whole and how it could be even better and how they can make it better. I had several airmen spitball ideas on how we should color code assets with their collection areas, reformat the maps we used, and restructured the reporting instructions so exploitation units wouldn't be so confused. These are my creators. Incredibly involved, very influential, and very creative. I also had a few airmen who pointed out some of the concerns with those types of changes and how that could actually end up being a detriment to the product as a whole due to the type of software we were using. These are my refiners. They saw things from a perspective that my creators weren't so keen on seeing. At one point, it seemed that my refiners and my creators were at a standstill, and I could see the panic ensuing with the group due to the lack of good ideas. Those airmen that have been quiet up until now supported every idea, pointing out potential compromises such as better quality checking and test runs with the new product. These are my advancers. This perked everyone back up. Now I realized this was a prime example of the PEP cycle, or the PEP, panic, elation, then panic again, in which there was panic coming up with ideas at first, and then acknowledging the potential limiting factors, which caused my creators to end up thinking that they were bad at coming up with ideas in the first place. Then elations when my advancers gave potential compromises to combat those factors, and then panic again when my creators felt the idea was passed for approval but still impossible due to the potential limiting factors that could possibly pop up. Fortunately, I had a lot of diversity on my team, but I'm not referring to race or culture. I had an airman who had backgrounds in giving presentations, designing, and working with maps. These airmen that had background in presentations were giving presentations from the beginning of their career. I also had some airmen who were actually going to school for a design program. And I had a lot of airmen who had experience with building and working with maps and map software. Those airmen were very quick to take on the part of the project of the redesign. Now that we had our ideas, I had to use my project management skills to get the ball rolling. I gave one goal, one deliverable, and the schedule of events. I requested my airmen to have an example provided to me by the end of the next week. I asked there be a schedule for I asked there be an example for each type of aircraft, which would be 2 for each country, 2 for each aircraft, using relative mission problem sets that we're currently using. So this was the goal and a deliverable, with it being done by the end of next week as the schedule. I wanted it in the format they believe would be the most beneficial for its purpose. This impacted the team in such a way that they knew exactly what I needed, and they knew exactly who needed to go do what, and who they can go to on the team if they had a particular issue with the project. They also knew that they could talk to each other, which caused even greater communication capability that I've seen before that point. I would monitor their progress, noticing how things flowed and if we were keeping the purpose of the product the same. After the deliverable was delivered to me, I did a project review. I noticed how my objectives were met, the quality of work was more than satisfactory, and the new design adhered to the original purpose of the product, just portraying it more efficiently. We sent it out to a unit who agreed to go over it as a test run, and they found that it was a lot better than the original. And once our seniors approved of it, we sent out our first official redesign of the product, and everyone loved it. I applauded my team, making sure they knew that they were the ones who made this happen, and my team ended up being recognized by our division commander for all of their hard work. It was because of my team's diversity, their backgrounds in a plethora of things, and how they were able to communicate that really made the project a hit. It was because of their hard work that all of the units had little to no confusion when it came to actually reading and utilizing the project, or utilizing the product. We noticed that there was a vast improvement on the time things were reported, the timeliness of the products they had to send out. And we also noticed that the amount of negative feedback had gone down to almost none. We also noticed that we were getting emails from commanders of other units stating that the product was fantastic and they wanted to know who personally redesigned it. I had to remind my guys and everyone that knew the product that it wasn't just a one-person effort, it was a team effort. I also let my guys know that if there was anything else that they thought that could be bettered, that they should be able to take the initiative to do so. Of course, they have to run it by the appropriate people. But because of this particular project, they were actually able to take more initiative, find out things that they can better even further. And it was because of that our shop got recognized as Team of the Quarter that quarter for that year. After that, communication was sky high, morale was sky high, and there was a lot of innovation and immersive followership because of this particular project. Thank you.